Thank you very much, Dr. Gakuru. You had a very long protocol. I saw speakers taking about 1 minute or two reading out the protocol, and I respect it, and I observe that protocol. I'm called Grace Bwenje, as you said, from the National Planning Authority, and I'm here to, if I extend like this, am I clear? I don't like bending a lot. This one? Yeah. Oh, yes, yeah. I'm representing the chairperson of the National Planning Authority, Professor Pamela Mbabazi, who sends in her apology for not being here, but she appreciates this meeting, and she highlights very much how she loves food, and that's why at the National Planning Authority we co-hosted the Food Systems Summit 2021, and the National Planning Authority appreciates food, and actually on that note, National Planning Authority gives free lunch to its staff. And this is a unique thing in government. Yeah, so that shows you how much the National Planning Authority appreciates food. Last month, I was in Montpellier University, and we had a meeting, a workshop on using foresight for food systems transformation. Now, to cut the long story short, I met Professor John Ingram from Oxford University, who is the head of this project, and actually tells me he was in Uganda in 1988. But he told me that he has discussed food systems transformation for the last 15 years. And he's taken aback that the world is just appreciating just right now to discuss food systems transformation. We are about 2-3 years now into the hot debate of food systems transformation. But he's very happy that now the world can discuss and understand that for us to have the right access to food, we must transform the food systems transformation. Now, when you look at the right to adequate food, and you define the two, I would define the other one, adequate food. Food is not adequate unless it is safe. Food is not adequate unless it is nutritious. If you have all the food in this world and it is not achieving your nutritional, your health outcome, then it is not food. And that's why at the National Planning Authority, we recognize that food is a key foundation to human capital development. And we catered for food both in our human capital development program and our agro-industrialization program. Now, I agree with all what they discussed, what the keynote speaker put forward. One of them was that poverty exacerbates the situation of malnutrition, which is very true. Like for the case of Uganda, we have many people seated at the fence of poverty. And like he highlighted, when there's a slight price increase in commodities, like for example, what the Ukraine war has done to us, you're going to have most of these people seated at the fence falling back into poverty. So what do we have to do? We must eradicate, we must remove poverty in all its forms. One of them is around food itself. We must play with food. We must make food available to their populations. All these countries you see fighting, all the politicians you see playing their political games, the end story is food. Everyone wants, all these corrupt government officials that you see, the end story is food. They want to put food in their stomachs. They want to provide food for their children. They want to provide foods for their relatives. So we must make sure that one of the forms that we use to remove poverty is to make sure that food is available. Dr. Roslyn says there are many frameworks that we have put in place, and I appreciate that. But there are frameworks that, to me, I think are becoming extinct, or they are becoming obsolete, or we are moving very fast for them. What am I trying to say? The Honorable Minister in the morning highlighted, we have the 2003 Food and Nutrition Policy. Very good. Presenter Ajandro highlights that we have the UN guidelines for right to food. Now, 20 years for that, 2003 up to now is how many? So many years. And we are moving very fast. So we need to appreciate that. We need to adequately, all the time and regularly, review our environment, review these frameworks to make sure that they address the environment we are in. We are now using ICT, we are using artificial intelligence, and all these conflicts are increasing, all this. So we need to revise the frameworks that we have. And what I'm trying to say is, let's make the environment enabling. Let's make it very enabling. Are you the right institution that is hosting the food systems? Are you discussing with others? We have an increasing number of institutions, people talking alone regarding budgets, regarding planning, regarding reporting, regarding implementation. What I'm trying to say, we need to speak together. We need to come together and speak on this platform. So you cannot have adequate food when we are not speaking together. There are a lot of resources, we agree, and are being wasted. You find some areas in the country are not having enough, and we are investing quite a lot to produce these foods. But if we are speaking together, can we first reduce this waste? I'm talking about reducing the food loss. We need to recognize the extreme poor. Recognize the extreme poor where they are and provide appropriate interventions to address them. And that's why at the NPA, we saw this and put a regional development program so that we reach to those areas in Bukedi, Bunyoro, Karamoja area, parts of Acholi. They're having different levels of poverty. Get to them where they are. What do they need? So the interventions that you choose for the general growth of the entire country cannot be the same for the regions that are poor. So you must put up specific interventions to address these poor areas. Support should be given to women. Women are central to the transformation of the food systems. And everyone has highlighted this. Allow them access land. Allow them access financing and all of that. Does the National Development Plan capture your aspirations, your priority areas? Begin at that step. You will not be able to access or attract financing from the Ministry of Finance and Planning unless you have captured what you need to transform about in the food system. So it's at the planning level that you're going to put forward what you need. And this I speak to everyone. If you want to transform the food systems in this country, you must proceed and put your priorities, your plans in the national plan. Then you move forward, budgeting, implementation, and reporting. Is the budget capturing For example, we sacrifice a lot, Maif and others say, oh, you've not implemented. Recently, the Office of the President did an analysis of the agro-industrialization budget. And we found 80% of the budget is actually recurrent. Recurrent. So now we're asking ourselves, when do we develop as a country? When does the money now move to development? Where's the development budget? So is the budget speaking to what you need? So make sure that the budget attracts your interventions. The indicators should be very clear. For example, currently we're using the program-based budgeting. Is your indicator, for example, on the national food fortification in there? Because we want to see that we address the micronutrient deficiencies in this country. Because you realize that we have three malnutrition burdens. Undernutrition, we have overnutrition, which is obesity, and the silent hunger, the micronutrient deficiencies. So is the budget addressing, providing micronutrients to the population, recognizing their importance, all of that? How are we, us, charged with these offices, protecting the smallholder farmer who is shielding us, who is holding this burden? Yes, I agree with the Honorable Minister in the morning. He said now we must get the large commercial farmers to absorb this shock coming from Ukraine, get all the food. But we have those people growing for us all the coffee that we are exporting. We have all those people that are growing for us the food. Have we put the right environment for them, the smallholder farmers? And I always tell people, one day when the smallholder farmers feel that this is enough, they are going to move away. And you will see how much chaos that can be in a country like this one. So let's put the right frameworks, protect them, give them financing, protect them from shocks and all this, provide for them inputs. And I like the PDM. Yes, if we make it very functional, it's a good answer to the small holder farmers. Otherwise, as I end, let's put emphasis on removing poverty. It's the cause of all this. Let's make sure that we commercialize the agriculture we have. Let's add value to the food that we produce. Because you waste so much resources, solar power, you transported food from Bushenyi, brought Matoke to Kampala, used a lot of fuel, and when you reach here, the bananas ripen. Let's look for those innovations that can move us to another level, save the energy, and all that. I submit.